Hi all, this is Karthik here. You're watching Chasing Dreams Season 7 and episode number 7. So hopefully you guys are having good time watching all these episodes. Thanks a lot for people who have been watching and supporting these episodes throughout Season 7. And also today in our show we have a very very special guest. Eli Martinez is on our show. So yes, to talk about Eli Martinez, there's a lot, and the story is very inspiring to hear for people. Um, and also, yes, we'll catch him in some time. And also, if you guys wanted to go to my YouTube channel and support, please do go to itismekarthikofficial and you will see our Chasing Dreams video. And also a couple of videos out, and please do go to that space to get more entertaining content as well. Yes, we will wait for Eli Martinez to join. Okay. In the meantime, if you guys feel like hearing it as a podcast, please go to uh, Spotify or Apple Podcast and type Chasing Dreams. You will see my picture and you can hear it as a podcast as well. Yes, our guest has joined the show. Yes, I'm actually very, very excited for today's interview. And yes, hi, Eli Martinez. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good too. So,
All
how,
right.
how is quarantine there?
It's about probably the same over there. It's horrible, and I'm ready to go, and yeah. So, but yeah,
It
but
happens.
surviving, waiting, making the best of it, trying to get out and shoot whenever I can, but for the most part, just waiting, planning, making new plans. This is a good time to actually make a bunch of plans and get ready. So as soon as they let us out of the gate, I'm going running.
Running. Yes. So to introduce Eli onto our show, he is actually, I have a very big list to actually tell. I hope I convey it right. Okay, he's the founder of Shark Dive magazine. He's the host, cameraman, safety diver for Discovery Channel, Shark Week, and also he's been a part of Animal Planet, Nat Geo, CNN, Outdoor Journal, NBC's Today Show, and lot of documentaries, newspaper, magazine, and all around the world. His pictures has been published, and uh, the names are all big, and the journey would have been big as well. And thanks a lot for coming onto our show and sharing your story here, Ali.
No, absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. Super
Yes,
pumped.
I have been inspired by you, I would say. I saw your shows in all these channel, and I have thought of dreaming a life of yours, and I hope you're living your dream at the moment. So yes, right now we know who Eli is, but before all these scenes, can you just take us through a journey and how did it all started towards wildlife?
Oh well. Oh wow. That's definitely a loaded question. I've always been fascinated with wildlife. I've always been around animals as a child. Growing up in Texas, I was always looking for lizards and frogs, and I was always my whole life has been about animals.
Okay,
Um, and as an adult, I was in the rodeo circuit riding bulls. So I just, I was always involved with animals in some form. And then after well, I got an injury on one of my bull rides, and after that injury, I I ended up going scuba diving. I got my scuba diving certification while I was
okay.
while I was trying to heal up from this accident, and it was on that very first dive that I saw a shark. And it was on that after that experience that I came out of the water. I wanted to see more of them. I was hooked. I
Okay, so
wanted to.
where was your first dive experience?
My first ocean dive was in Cozumel, Mexico. Cozumel Island, and the first shark I saw was a bull shark.
Oh my
So
God.
it's just it's just one of those animals you don't expect to see. I mean, it's Cozumel's not really known as being a shark diving spot, so I kind of look at it as it was, the fates or whatever you want to call it. Just you know, showing me that this was the new path I was supposed to be walking, and I took it. I just I got out of the water that day, and I just was wanting to learn more about sharks and wanting to go diving with more sharks. So I just got home and started looking for places I could go diving, and that was
Yes.
pretty much it. After that, I didn't really want to ride bulls anymore. I wanted to go diving.
Yes, so you got hooked to it.
I did.
Yes,
So
okay.
and then it was from there that it took a while for me to get to a point where I try to find a way to turn it into a business. When that's how we started
Yes.
Shark Diver magazine. I think it was like 4 or 5 years later that I started the mag, and it was from there that I began this journey,
Okay. Okay.
with this world.
Okay. So actually, exactly what fascinated you with regards to wildlife? We can understand you have been associated with animals all throughout your life. So what
Uh-huh.
exactly fascinated you?
Animal. I'm full on an animal guy. I love animals. I love everything about them. I love, I mean, for me, uh, it's animals are life. So it's
Yes.
from from the ocean animals to the insects that are crawling around. I'm just a wildlife junkie, and
Yeah.
I love everything about them, and I love, I'm fascinated by them, and excited about trying to spend as much time as I can with them. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, got it. So you spoke about your journey right now, but you would have faced a lot of struggles in between shifting your career to one to another. And then you also told you had a hard time finding it to make it as a business. So can you just shed some light on this aspect? How did it turn into a career and the struggles that you faced in this period?
Well, the business struggles, I mean, that it's just like any other startup. I mean, well, when I first started, I started cold. This was in the beginning of the internet, so there was no social media, there was none of those things. So when we
Yes.
started our business as a magazine, it was I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't really know anything about publishing. I didn't know, the only writing I'd ever done is in my personal journals. I mean, so it was really cold, as far as me wanting to start a magazine about sharks was a crazy, crazy idea. And looking back, I can't believe I did it. But we did it. I found a way to do it and learned everything as I went. And actually, you can see, like, if you look at issue number 1 of our magazine all the way to issue number 25, you'll just see a huge difference in publishing and editing, and I mean everything. It was just but it was a passion project. It was a labor of love, and I was super I loved every day of it. I mean, I looked forward to Mondays, and was really
Ah,
bummed out
yeah.
when the weekends got here, because I loved to work, and I wanted to continue doing this. So.
Okay. So what does exactly what it covers? We can understand Shark Magazine is something related to shark. So what impact does it create and what it covers?
The magazine itself.
Yes.
Well, when we used to publish the magazine, I created a magazine about shark diving for shark divers. So it
Okay.
was really about the sport of shark diving, places to go, encounters from different divers of the different species of sharks that they see around the world, different hot spots, some of the stuff that some of the stuff that conservation groups are dealing with, the plight of sharks. I mean, so we covered everything that we could, about the different the different topics that revolve around sharks. And the big thing that we really did, and which is my passion project, is destroying the myth, which is that,
Yes.
sharks are these mindless monsters that need to be killed or culled. We really pushed, trying to share the other side of these animals. How amazing they are, how beautiful they are, and
Yes.
and how important they are. And that was
Yes,
so that
exactly.
was something that I got to do through this magazine. This was our vehicle. This was our way of giving back, and it was an opportunity to share with the world and share with whoever cared that, how important and beautiful these animals were and are.
Yes, exactly.
and you have been doing it very successfully. And for example, I'm so far away from you, and I have been impacted by this, I would say, personal experience. Yes, so you have done it right, I guess. And yes, so to start about SDM diving, so after this magazine, a transition to becoming an organization for wildlife experiences, right?
Hmm.
Yes. So
Well,
how did this start?
that transition. So
Yeah.
when social media started growing, we could kind of see the writing on the wall as far as that magazines are a thing of the past. And
Okay.
because you can't keep up with the speed of storytelling anymore. I mean, and social media, like before when we would publish the magazine, someone would go diving, we'd publish a story, and then 3 or 4 months later, was when people would see the images and find out about the diving. Now you go diving, you get out of the water, and you're already posting photos of, look what I just saw
Yes.
today. So
Yes.
we knew that when I saw that, and I said, I just knew that sadly magazines were dinosaurs, and it was time for a change. So when we first started the magazine, part of what we did was we offered expeditions. It was how we funded the magazine. So it was a reader
Yes.
supported publication. It wasn't really advertisement driven. It was more reader driven. And so we started offering these trips. And when we shut down the magazine, we just kept the diving portion, the expeditions open. We kept doing that, and we just shut down publishing the magazine itself. And as we continued to do that, we started adding different expeditions for whales, for crocodiles, and then we started doing land stuff for bears and African safaris and polar bears. And I mean, these are just animals that we wanted to see and experience, and predators that we wanted to learn more about. So we started offering these different types of expeditions, and that's kind of how that evolved.
Okay. So how many, like, what are the different expeditions that SDM carries right now? So we
Uh,
apart from diving, we could see, and we have been talking a lot about diving. So apart from diving,
Apart from diving, we offer opportunities to jaguar expeditions in Brazil. We
okay,
do polar bear expeditions in Churchill, Canada. We
okay,
do African safaris. We do Borneo expeditions for orangutans and clouded leopards and pygmy elephants. We'll do expeditions to Uganda for mountain gorillas. So, I mean, we're looking at some birding expeditions as well. I
yes.
mean, we're just looking at different opportunities
Yes,
and
and
different.
also one special thing in India also he does it, and it is Bandhavgarh, where we can go and sight tigers, right?
That is a big one.
Yes.
Yeah. We're actually, sadly, it's getting pushed back because of all this craziness that's happening in the world. And we're having to reschedule that one and move it. Maybe hoping 2021 is going to happen, but more, looks like 2022. I don't know what's
Okay.
happening over in in India, but I need to get there
Yes.
really bad, really bad.
Yes, please do let me know when you come to India. I'll be there to meet you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, okay. So, to talk about all these aspects, I personally think we got to be mentally strong for the experiences that you go through. Is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, because this has not been an easy journey. I mean, I get that question a lot from people like, how did you do this? How did you get there? How do you become, I want to do what you do. But
Actually,
my,
I'll be open here. I have actually posted you that question few years ago. Yes.
yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, and it's such a difficult question for me to answer because I didn't come in the traditional way. I didn't, what I did was, I mean, it was started out with this magazine and then it kind of evolved into what it is today. And it wasn't like a set journey, like, okay, I'm going to start offering trips and then, I'm going to find people who want to join me. And it wasn't that kind of experience for me. So
Yes,
it
and
was
also when you spoke about it, sorry to interrupt. This
no
something
problem.
like which strikes me. Uh, Before when there was no internet and all those, and there was less awareness for apex predators especially, so that's why you dive. So did people come on board to your expeditions at that point of time?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, they found us through Google and our website, and I mean, we started running expeditions in 2003. So I
Okay.
mean, we've been doing 17 years of running trips, and yeah, you know, it blows my mind that it's been that long. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, for before all this social media stuff, we were advertising it through our website and through our magazine, and we that's how we got the word out. That's how we got to,
Okay.
you know.
Yes, because they at that time, right now itself, there are a lot of people who get scared of all these like animal experiences, going out and having wildlife thrill, like totally into wildlife sort of experiences. So just wanted to see how the mind set from that point to this point. So exactly, and you were talking about something else, right?
Uh, I was, which,
Yes, I also tend to forget. Yeah,
no,
you
I
just
mean
switched.
it's as far as traveling to these different places. I mean that's kind of what we do is when we organize a lot of these expeditions. It's to ease the burden, you know, and save you time of actually trying to find some of these more difficult to find animals, or traveling to some of these really hard to get places. And we just what we try to do is make the basically when you want to plan to see a mountain gorilla or a tiger shark or a tiger
Yes,
is teaching, like, you get to the airport, we pick you up, and from there we take care of you, and we make sure you get to the place safely. We make sure you see the animal safely. If you're on a photo, you know, if you're trying to learn about photography, we try to help you guys, you know, with the setups and making sure that you're able to photograph the animal there, or come home with the images that you want to come home with, or the video. You know, we just do that so that you guys can have the best experience possible. And that's all we try to
yes,
do, and make it as safe as possible. Because for me, everybody gets a story, everybody comes home. That's my plan every time.
exactly. And also one word to put out right now. You can go to sdmdiving.com, and there are many wildlife experiences, and whichever you want, you can just pick them up. And I hope Eli Martinez will give you the best service out of it. And you can also go and follow him in Eli Martinez SDM Diving in Instagram and Facebook. You will see his video, and for sure you will be blown off. That's the
Oh, yeah.
guarantee that I can give. Yes, to anybody who's watching in this live, and also apart from watching it in my IGTV or YouTube, please do have a look at his website. And yes, I think we spoke about a few aspects of your journey right now, and I want you to take you to another episode. It's called the photo session. I know it is going to be a surprise for you.
Okay.
Okay, one sec. Oh my God, one sec.
Okay.
My photos isn't popping up. Wow. Okay, actually, but in the meantime, I guess say hi to all the people who have joined the show.
Well, the ones who are watching the show truly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with us tonight. You know, hopefully you guys are having a beautiful evening, and hopefully you guys are somewhere cool. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, the first picture is.
Ah,
I know,
okay.
I know, I know personally, this is your favorite of encounters in the wild, is it?
Well, hey, the New Zealand orcas, that experience is easily, yeah, one of my most favorite experiences of all time. It just being able to experience that and be there with these animals and play with a wild orca. I think that is easily one my that one experience that I'll never forget. I'll always be forever grateful that I had that opportunity, and just one of those things that you just, I mean, the idea that you're in the water and there's an orca circling you,
Yes.
and everything that you thought you knew about this animal is completely wrong. because before I jumped in with that was the first time I'd ever swam with an orca, and
Okay.
to actually jump in and find out that all these stories you hear about the orcas and all that, was it dangerous, were you afraid, and it's wrong. I mean, the reality is that they want nothing to do with you. They're they just want to go on being orcas, but the fact that
Yes.
this wild one wanted to play with me is just made it even more
Oh
special,
my
more
God.
magical, and yeah, it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes, as you told, this was the first time. How was the feel like? Can you? I know words can't put them out, but can you just let us know a glimpse of it? How was the feel when you first jumped in and saw?
That first one, well, actually, when we were going out to go see the orcas, I really thought. I mean, I couldn't even imagine seeing one. I was like, no way, we're not going to see him. We're not going to see, like, I didn't want to get too excited. Like, okay, we're going to go out there, we're going to see them. It was more of like, I wanted to not get so fired up about
Okay.
it. And it was more of I wanted to just pretend it wasn't really happening. Like I wanted to not get my hopes up too high. And then when we saw that
Okay.
first dorsal fin break the water, and you just see that
Oh
big
my
male come out of the
God.
water, and oh my heart just
Surreal
exploded at
experience,
that part.
right?
And then I was just, I mean, literally just wanting to just throw everything on and jump in the water as fast as I could. But we had to take our time, get in the water, and once we did, and I saw that first orca, oh man, it was heaven on earth. It really
Yes.
was. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I could actually sense it. How you would have felt at that point of time. So the next picture,
Anacondas in Brazil, man.
yeah.
That one, yeah, that was my unicorn for a long time. It was just that one. This is another one. This is another animal that there is so much there is so much uh, myth
Misunderstood?
about these animals, and people just have this negative picture in their mind when they think of a giant anaconda,
Yes.
a green anaconda. It's another animal that I really wanted to get in the water with and see what it was all about, to find out the truth about this animal. And it was, yeah, completely opposite of, again, everything we thought we knew about this animal. Wrong. I mean, this animal wanted nothing to do with us. As soon as we jumped in with her, she's a big 4 meter plus shark snake,
Okay.
and she was, as soon as we got in the water, all she wanted to do was just hide and run away from us. So again, another myth of these predators that are trying to eat you every time you're around them, and it was wrong. And she was
Yes.
just a beautiful, beautiful snake. And I was just, I mean, I got out of the water and I cried. I was just so happy. And it was just one of those things that, you can't believe you just
Yes.
experienced. And I did. And I was there with her, and she was gorgeous and
Oh my
everything I hoped she
God.
was.
You
Everything I
are
hoped she was.
actually making me jealous, Eli. It's like I just can't sit at home tonight. For sure, I think I must go out, or else I'll get. It's like
Well,
I
I
can't
mean,
take
your
this.
your your backyard is where I dream of going. I mean, that's, you got to remember, I'm stuck over here in Texas while you're over there with all that amazing wildlife. You got blue whales, you got tigers, you got elephants. I mean, that's all in your
Yes,
backyard. The birds in your area are amazing. I mean, if I were you, I'd be out there just every chance I got. I mean, that
yes,
would be me. I'd never be home if I were you.
yes. Thank you for motivating me. For sure, I'll also be out now. Yes,
Absolutely.
actually, when you talk about snakes, generally people have a different perspective, and that too an anaconda, like the movie says, it eats an person and all those, and also Rossi, I don't remember his name. He actually tried going in anacondas, like feeding himself to anacondas, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
guy, yes, that happened, and he also wanted to create an impact. So obviously, as we could see, you are behind this where my picture is right now. So it is also safe, and as he told, there is nothing to do with us. So tell us about this picture.
This was my first experience with a blue whale, and it was, yeah, we were actually going. We went out that day. This is in Baja, off Cabo San Lucas. We were actually out looking for sharks. We were going to go chumming for sharks, and as we were motoring out, we went out probably a good 20, 30 miles out, and we just see a whale in the distance. We thought it was a humpback whale.
Okay.
And so we were kind of edging closer, and then realized it's a blue whale. And then after that, we just, I mean, explosion of gear and cameras
Yeah.
and masks and fins. And just, it was a very special day, getting to see that and experience that. Yeah, I just couldn't
Yes,
believe.
it's actually a juvenile, right?
Huh?
This one is a juvenile, right?
Right, yeah. So this wasn't even a full-grown blue whale. This is a juvenile. He was about 70 feet long. So I'd need to convert that in meters. I'm
Okay.
not really sure how many meters that is.
Actually, when you see this picture, you are behind my picture as well for this, and you can see the magnitude of how big it is and how small we look in front of it. Yes, and actually your experiences are just mind blowing, and another one playing with.
Well, that's actually my boy David right there. He's feeding a bull shark. And yeah, that's so. I mean, for my favorite moments of all time, I mean, David. Yeah, watching him interacting with sharks and seeing him embrace the shark diving lifestyle is always been one of my favorite things. Is just seeing him work with these animals and seeing that he's just as passionate about the wildlife and in the ocean as I was and am. And so yeah, it's really cool, and it just blows my mind. Yeah.
Yes, so when we see this, we don't think you are scared of anything, is it? You aren't scared?
Huh? I was scared of the
When,
sharks? No. No, I
no,
mean,
not especially sharks. Like when we see all these experiences of yours, we think you aren't scared of anything.
oh,
So
no, far from it. The opposite. I'm actually the biggest chicken in the world.
so
Um, no,
how do you face your fear
it has to do
and
with
overcome?
respect. It has to do with respecting these animals and respecting the wildlife and following rules. Every animal that you're in the water with or you're on land with, it's all about rules. And if you follow them, you can safely interact with them. You can safely take photos of them. You can safely watch them. You break these rules, and you're going to pay the price. And especially with animals like sharks, sharks. I mean, there's very delicate lines that you really should never cross. And, and that's something that I work really hard when we have people in the water, when I have guests and I'm feeding sharks. And, I always make sure that we're following the rules and we're doing everything that we can to make sure that what we're doing is safe, that my guests are safe, the animals especially are safe, because the last thing I want is for an accident to happen. Because then, people are just sitting there waiting for those kind of things to happen. So you
Yes,
there?
got it.
Everything good?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry, there
yeah.
was a little stutter there, guys.
Sorry, it's actually
People are
my
waiting
fault.
for. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are waiting for those kind of things to happen, and so I work really hard to make sure that we try to make these things and these experiences as safe as possible.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And next picture.
This one. This was this is our first visit to Tonga, and my first time getting to spend quality time around baby humpback whales. And actually, this particular image I took when my wife and my daughter were with me in the water, and
Oh my
this
God.
baby, this big giant. So when a baby humpback whale, they don't know how big they are. They don't understand how heavy and how strong they are. So when they're rolling around, they really don't, they're not so coordinated yet, and they're just enjoying life, being whales, and they're flopping around, and their flippers are just slapping the water. And this one was really, really close. He was fascinated with my daughter, and the baby just kept coming and rolling and got closer and closer, and I could see that fin or its flipper uncomfortably close to my daughter. And so I was torn between going to help her or taking the photos. And so I was like, should I go help my daughter or do I keep taking pictures? I think from the photo you can see I took pictures instead. I was like, okay.
Yes, I think so. They understand naturally, like after a certain point of time, right? These creatures, they don't harm or they don't do a trouble to humans.
No. I mean, you know, as long as you respect them, as long the babies, if the mothers feel threatened by the people in the water, she's just going to move away and she's going to take her baby away, or she'll get in front of the people and go in front of the divers and you know, keep her baby at a far away distance. So again, it's all about rules when it comes to these animals, and it's all about rules when you're interacting with them. So yeah, that's
exactly. And I have few questions on the behavior side aspect. I'll come to it. And so next picture with the crocodile.
This is actually an American alligator. So this is an opportunity I had with my buddy Chris Gillette, who's an excellent wildlife handler and works a lot with alligators and crocodiles, specializes in them. And we went out to one of his favorite spots and to go see if we could, what kind of wildlife we can find. And we found this alligator there, and it was just one of those amazing. I was on my dog's barking like crazy.
It happens.
Yeah, and it was just one of those experiences that, you know, I mean, it was so wild, so raw, and it was a lot of fun. And you know, we went out. It was just, you know, a couple of buddies, and I think my buddy Doherty went out there with me, and we just had a really good time photographing wildlife, and Chris was having a good time scaring the hell out of us, and yeah, so it was great.
Okay, the Chris you're talking about is the Gator boy.
Gator boy, yeah. That's
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super.
Excellent wildlife guy.
Yes, we follow him huge back in India. A lot of people like his work and we follow him. Yes, so the next picture.
Bobcat. Yeah, so this is actually one of my most coveted, my most favorite moments, my most favorite images that I've ever captured, and it had to do just more with we knew this bobcat was hanging around this bird feeder at one of our favorite parks, and she would stay in the tall bushes and hide there and explode out every time a bird would drop down to grab a drink of water, because there was a water feature on the ground at ground level. And she would just sit there and wait, and we would sit there with our cameras and wait, hopefully that she would, you know, we would capture a predation on film. And it took us about 4 months till we finally got a picture of her catching a bird. And that was the most, I mean, you know, you obviously feel bad for the bird, but at the same time, you know, to be able to be there and witness the experience, and it was just, it was magical. I mean, it just amazing that I got to see that and witness it, photograph it, and I was there with my daughter, and it was just a really, really great experience, and you know, hard work paying off again, you know.
Yes, 4 months.
That moment.
I don't
4
think
months,
so. Yes,
4 months. Every morning, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go out to the area, just sit there and wait. Still dark, but we wanted to be there before the cat showed up, so we would position ourselves, sit down, set up our tripods, and just sit there. I mean, it was cold. Sometimes it was raining. Sometimes, you know, the mosquitoes were brutal. I mean, it was all the different elements, but you know, it finally paid off at the end. So.
Yes, exactly. So we have done with the photo session, yes, and you have made me jealous right now for sure. So you got to take it. Yeah. So the next is as we spoke about few other aspects of your life at the starting of our show, so right now we will cover few other aspects. Okay, so when you spoke about all these picture, when we saw the image quality is just fantastic, and how did the photography journey of yours started? Photography and videography journey of yours?
It was, well, I started out mostly doing video. So we used to do exclusively just underwater video. And I think for the first, like in 2003, all the way up to about 2014, all I shot was video on GoPro, on EX1s, and then the DSLRs, and just a different variety of cameras that we were using through the years. But
Yes.
it was exclusively just video. And then when I was doing the show for Shark Week in 2014, for the orcas, they asked me to take down my still camera. Well,
Okay.
when I was shooting a DSLR, I was shooting mostly video, but they wanted me to use it for stills, and I said, all right. I'd been shooting a little bit, but it was after photographing the orcas that I was like, all right, I'm shooting stills
Yes.
from now on, and I just moved, and from that point, I became obsessed with trying to capture better images and get better at it, and yeah, it's just it's been a journey. It's been a work in progress. There's images that I took 2 or 3 years ago or a year ago sometimes, and I look and I'm like, oh man, that's a horrible picture. So you just but it's all personal taste. As my taste
Yes.
and my I get better at my craft, and you just want to take better images. You want to share better images, and for yourself, and so yeah. So
Okay.
it's
So
it's
you
just
learned
it's
it
work
by
in progress.
yourself, is what you're saying?
Say that
You
again.
didn't go to, you didn't go to any school or
No, no,
uh,
no,
okay.
definitely not. No, it was just all learn. It was YouTube University. That
Yes.
was
Yeah. The latest ones
yeah.
and best to learn as well. If you have the
Absolutely.
interest and just jump in, we can grab anything that you
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
mean, it
learn.
doesn't matter what you're interested in. YouTube's got something that you can really get into.
Yes. And also a lot of people have greeted you hi and all those.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I've been wanting to say hi on some of these. I just hadn't seen.
Yes, and also if you guys have any questions, please do post it here, and whatever question you want to ask
Yeah, if
Eli
there's
with
any
regards to
questions,
his
I'd be more
career,
than happy to answer them.
yes, with regards to his career, you can post it and I'll get it answered for you. And I think it's a very precious time for people out there in order to know and get insights from Eli in person. So actually, that's the reason we do all these sessions live. So to get a chance for all the audiences to interact with our guest. And I hope the amount of experience he has is we can go on for months talking about it and learn a lot of knowledge out of this. So that's the main reason. And
Yeah. Hi to
yes, but
Samathi898.
okay, yes. And thanks a lot for
And
people watching from India. It's 7 a.m. in the morning, 7:30, and you guys have tuned into this. Happy about it as well. So yes, so in order to talk about the pictures and all those we spoke about, what kind of camera you use and what did you use initially to start off?
well, my first camera was a Canon Rebel. That was the first camera I started shooting with, and that's the one that I really started trying to learn with, and then it evolved to the 7D, and now currently I'm on the 5D Mark IV, but looking at the new R5, that's just
Yes.
that's the next one, the mirrorless generation. That's next, and so you just trying to trying to use the best equipment that I can get my hands on, or that that I'm budgeted for, and get the most out of the images. That's really what you do for anybody who's starting out, for at any level that you are. Just just taking your camera and learning as much as you can about it, and doing as much as you can with it, so that you can get the best images out of it. Because it doesn't matter what you're shooting. If you're shooting with a Rebel, I mean, you it might take a bit, but you can get really good images out of it. It's just you got to have to work for it. You have to work harder on it. And your lenses are important, you know. I mean, and then learning your settings. You got to learn your settings if you really want to capture great images. And so, I mean, that's something that I'm always doing, and I'm always messing up on, and I'm always trying to get better at. And so, at the end of the day, it ain't the arrow, it's the Indian, you know. So
Yes, yes.
it's trying to capture, to try to take good pictures always.
I personally like your picture. It's not about just telling it, and the pictures what I saw in your post, it just is amazing, and the quality is in another league, I would say. It's not close to something normal. It's extraordinary.
Ah, thank you so much. It's
Yes,
it's
and
it's hard work. It really is. It
yes,
is.
you as you told 4 months for a picture, that actually tells the story of each
But
picture, and yes.
But but what you see at the end of the day, like you'll see, when we post our images, I'm posting one good image, but I might have taken 1,000 that day, and maybe 3 or 4 of them come out. So I mean, it's just you just never know. You just got to you got to shoot, and you got to shoot, and you got to shoot, and hopefully something comes out. Hopefully you make magic.
Yes, and you are making a magic for sure. And we have a question from our audience. Prem has asked. He's a mountaineer. He was also on the show few weeks back. And any close encounters with the hammerhead?
I've had well, I mean, I spend a lot of time really close with sharks. I mean, if you're asking, have I been bit? Yeah, yes, I have. I've been bit 4 times, and
Okay.
it's just those are. But I'm feeding sharks, so the accidents that I've had is because I made a mistake. I did something stupid, and I'm the shark was trying to teach me, and I'm just a terrible student, and I had to learn the hard way. So yeah, but
Yes.
all my digits are still here, and they're all mine, and yeah, but
Yes.
uh,
When we spoke about the behavior aspect of the animals that you encounter, so how do you understand or get conveyed by the animal of this is what it is doing? It is through experience, or any people who goes and jumps on it at first itself we can understand.
well, I mean, if you're this is your first time in the water with a shark, I mean, you definitely want to go with somebody who knows what they're doing. You definitely want to be around somebody who's got a lot of experience, who can help you on your diving journey. You want to make sure that the people that you go with are safe, and really have the animal in mind when you're in the water with them. So that's first thing. That's key. I mean, it's
Okay.
really difficult to say go somewhere. Yeah, if you see a shark, jump in. If you don't really know what you're doing and you're approached by a shark, that's kind of one of the worst things you can do. So you definitely want to go with somebody who will help you and teach you the proper ways to conduct yourself if you're approached by a shark. If you got a curious shark or an aggressive shark, how do you safely push the animal away, and what do you do? And that's really important. So
Okay. So you will understand the behavior of how it reacts and what state of mind it is, and you actually do a habitual study about all these creatures, right?
I mean, a lot of it. Well, when we first started, yeah, I mean, everybody has a basic knowledge of sharks. I had a basic knowledge of sharks, and things that I've read about other people. But it wasn't until I actually got in the water and spent a lot of time observing them, watching the game within the game, the hierarchy with the sharks. Where you got the bigger sharks and the smaller sharks. And this relationship that happens between them, how they communicate with us,
Mm,
how they try to communicate with us, but we're too dense to learn how they speak, how they communicate with each other, just body movements, body language, posturing, when gaping
exactly.
with sharks. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on in a shark's world, and how they interact with us, how they behave. So,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
exactly. This is what I was expecting. So you got to spend a lot of time underwaters to understand all these. Then you can take few steps towards going for a dive with sharks and all those. So that's how it works. Exactly. So now, right now, I want you to put you through another session called a rapid fire come your
Okay.
experience kind of a session. So can you just buckle it up and start ready for this?
Okay. Sure.
Yes. Okay. The one trip that you always wait for in the year.
That that I'm already doing. Like one
Yes.
trip that I'm always
Yes.
excited. Oh man, that's a
Yes.
hard one. Oh, I
Yeah.
love them all for different reasons. I get excited about every single trip we do. I the one with the most surprises, I guess I would have to say, is Marlin bait ball. That one is definitely. Oh no, no, never mind. Orcas in Norway. Orcas in that one. It it's tough.
That-
It's
Which one?
I
Which
mean they're
one?
all special.
One trip.
One trip, Orcas Norway.
Norway. Okay, awesome. Unforgettable experiences in your trips.
Oh man, there's
One
so many.
unforgettable.
One unforgettable.
Yeah.
Um, that first lemon shark that swam up to me and stuck his head between, on my knees so that I can give him a back rub. That was
Yeah.
the very first one. Yeah, that was
Awesome.
unforgettable
Yes.
for me.
Yes. There's a picture also. You rubbing lemon shark's belly.
Yeah.
I'd say. I don't know what it is exactly. A belly kind of a thing. Yes. So if not, uh, what you do right now, what you would have become.
What? Say that.
If
What?
if not, what you are doing at the moment, and a diver with giving wildlife
Ah, okay.
experiences. Apart from this, what you would have become.
What would I have become? Ooh.
I don't. I think so. You haven't thought about all these aspects, right?
I think it always has something to do with animals. I don't know if. Oh man.
Okay, let's leave this, and you have a penalty for this as well. You got
All
to do
right.
one thing, so I will tell it later. Okay. So if you are not a human and you are an animal, so would you like to fly, crawl, or be underwaters?
Ooh. I think I want to fly.
Fly, yes,
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, something you have thought of but never done it till date.
Something I
You have thought of doing with regards to wildlife adventures, but you have never done it till date.
something I thought of doing but I've never done. Hippo diving.
Hippo, yes. That would be crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Think I got a
It
is
it
there a
should
question
start.
there?
What is your dream trip?
Ooh.
Tongue of
Antarctica.
Orca. Okay.
Antarctica is definitely my dream trip. That's the one that's, doing the to get out there and the leopard seals and that wildlife that's out there. Definitely high on my list. That's my dream trip.
Yes, we are waiting to see you in Antarctica very soon. Hope it
Yes.
happens.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely it
yep,
will.
yes. Okay. Have you had any near death experiences?
Yes. Actually,
Can you just share one?
well, I've only had one near death or death. I had a bull step on my head when I was riding bulls, and yeah, it was when I woke up. Had the whole leaving the body, coming back in thing. So
Mm,
yeah, that's when I was riding bulls. I had one. Yep.
okay, but no, I thought you'd say something with regards to those wildlife adventure trips, but it
Oh
was
well,
back then.
no, no. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
nothing with animals now. No, no, not even close. This is
Yes.
safe.
Yes. So, one best diving spot that you would recommend people to go.
Tiger Beach. Tiger
Tiger
Beach is the
Beach.
greatest shark dive in the world.
Okay. Apart from shark diving or any big mammals or animals for that matter, any
Hmm.
other dive sites that you would recommend?
Um, Brevia Hijedos, which is that's Mexico's Galapagos Islands, or the
Okay.
Galapagos Islands, or Cocos
Yes.
Island. Um, just one of those main beautiful hot spots.
Okay, one place you have thought of diving but still haven't dived there.
Ooh, the Galapagos. I
Galapagos.
have yet to
Oh,
go. I have not, I haven't made it that way yet. So yeah,
okay.
that's high on my list.
Yes, yes. And have it's a personal question from me when I ask all these. Have you come diving to Asia part where Indonesia?
Well, the Philippines. I've dove in the Philippines, which is spectacular, and I love it. I can't wait to go back. Absolutely, can't wait to go back.
So you
There's a
spotted whale sharks there, right? In Philippines.
no thresher sharks.
Thresher
Thresher
sharks.
sharks
Okay.
is yeah. That's the animal that I was.
Okay. Yes. So you are done with your rapid fire thing of questions.
Okay.
I they jumbled a few questions, but it was.
Yeah,
I
there's a
hope you
couple of
had a good
questions
time.
there.
Yeah.
I was just kind of looking to see what they were saying.
Okay. So what was the latest adventure?
My
Song of
latest
Orca.
adventure, I just got back from crocodile diving in Mexico. That was the one we got to do in July, and yeah, so that was my latest trip. So
Okay. Awesome. So yes. So after this rapid fire question, so we have couple of questions to ask. Um, what has adventure impacted you in your life?
which adventure?
No. What has adventures, general in adventures,
Uh huh.
what impact has it created in your life?
What impact?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's everything that I've done at this point is it's all been life changing and and just it's my this soul searching. Um, it's hard to explain
Yes. Yes.
the the different the different things that I've experienced. Everywhere I go, I learn from. I learn from all the different places that I get to experience. I you know a piece. I've always said that every place that I visit, a piece of my soul stays there, and I take a piece of that place in exchange. That place becomes a part of me as well. So there's this gift giving thing that happens the way when I visit someplace and a part of me stays there forever and I take a part of that and I take it with me
Beautiful.
and so it's I mean I'm forever changed because of everything that I've experienced and like just once you step your foot out that door and you take off into one of these worlds, you don't come back the same. You're never the same. And I'm definitely not the same person I was 5 years ago or even 10 years ago. I mean, I'm just completely different version of myself. So,
Yes, and the best version of yourself, I guess. And and with regards to actually you actually beautifully put it the best way possible. And what has it has done to you internally in terms of you told I 5 years back I was a different guy and now as a different guy. So what all aspects that travel has taught you?
um, it's taught me um, to be more open to the world around me, to different people, to different cultures, to the different customs. Um, it's taught to to just try to love bigger, love better,
Yes.
and it's taught me restlessness. I'm actually more restless now than I've ever been because I know how limited our time is, and there's so much that I want to see, and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I need to go more. I need to see more. I need to experience more. I need to learn more, and I want to learn more. I'm so hungry to learn, and yeah. So I mean, if that's the one, that's probably the biggest lesson that it's all taught me is that I'm not doing enough. Yeah.
Enough. Okay. So in order to rate your life from 1 to 10, how much do you rate with regards to satisfaction level?
Say that again.
Okay. In order to rate your life from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how much would you rate your life with regards to satisfaction level?
Yeah, I don't. Um, I'd say 5.
Oh my no, this is not fair. This isn't fair, Eli. You have done almost anything that one could experience in his life, but it's just fine. And you think actually there is a lot more to learn. We can understand totally. Okay, 5, but I'm not going to take it. Maybe for the show, it's 5. Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
one thing.
I definitely, I mean, I'm a student. I'm completely a student. I mean, I just as I've learned and experienced, um, like I always, the one thing, like, even though, as much as I've done with sharks and the experiences I've had with these animals and the things I've learned, um, I still feel like I know absolutely nothing about them. I don't know a thing about sharks. So every time I go in the water, I'm always watching and learning and trying to improve my language skills with these animals, and that's the one thing that I do and I work so hard for is to, everywhere I go, the animals that we're experiencing, no matter how big or small they are, I'm just watching and trying to figure out, what I can learn from that animal and how I can learn, to read their behavior more, and so that I can not only um, try to understand what this animal's feeling, so to speak, or and from just observing it to a photography standpoint, to a video standpoint, to just trying to capture behavior on an image or video. But all just being able to understand, like, okay, you know, if I can help trying to see if this animal is feeling too stressed from us being there or not, like what is
Yes,
what is going on with the animal, so to speak.
yes,
So
okay, got
don't
it.
think I
And
expressed myself or explained myself right, but yeah.
yes, it can't be explained actually. All these adventure things, I don't think so anybody could explain it in words. It's a personal feeling that everybody feels within themselves, and obviously we get it. And
Yeah,
one thing, what would be that one thing would you tell to people who are chasing their own dreams?
never give up. It's going to be hard work. It's an uphill climb, all of it, all of it, all of it, all of it, and it's some people are saying, well, after a year I still not seeing the success yet. It might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, but you just, if you really want it, every day is going to be a dream that you get to work towards it, but if
Awesome.
you know that's yeah, right, that's it.
That's it. Yes, it's that simple. Just work towards it and enjoy what you do. I think
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
That's
and
the
if you're not,
takeaway.
yeah, if you're not enjoying yourself, I mean, that's the part where you got to say, like, okay, if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, why am I doing this?
Yes,
I
yes,
mean, but if it's for the right reasons, if you're passionate about it, if you're passionate about your dream, and then you're gonna hate to go to sleep at night because you want to keep working towards it.
yes,
That's the feeling you
exactly.
should always have. That's the feeling I have.
Yes, that's a great takeaway that one should have, I guess. And I think we have completed the session. I don't feel like we have spoken for an hour. Obviously, I just feel like it's just 5 to 10 minutes. And thanks a lot for coming and sharing your story. I have personally been inspired by you a lot, and your works is just amazing and out of the world. Hopefully, I see you in the future, in the near future, if time permits, and if there is a chance for an opportunity to see you, it would be awesome. And thanks a lot for sharing your story, Eli.
Absolutely, thank you. And I just want to say I didn't get to say hi to most of the people on here that came on, but thank you
Yes,
guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. And truly, thank you for allowing me to be on your show. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
it means a lot to me, and it's an honor. I feel it's an honor to me to have you on the show. And also, people, another thing to tell, you can go and see SDM Diving website for any wildlife adventures, and also follow SDM profile and Instagram and Facebook to get notified on what's happening latest. And yes, he also has a YouTube channel. You can go and experience all this experience what he spoke now through his eyes in a video format in YouTube. So it is Eli Martinez, right?
Yes, sir.
In YouTube. Yes.
Yep.
So thank you. Thanks a lot, and I had a wonderful time with you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, brother.
Yes. Thanks. Bye bye.
All right. Cheers.
Yes, guys, thank you. Thanks a lot for watching Chasing Dreams till now, and you will see me on another episode of Chasing Dreams. Till then, chase your dreams, and bye bye.